What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my Week 4 wide receiver rankings, half-point PPR as always. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you want to bring that fantasy championship home this season, rub it in your friends' and family's faces that you are better than them at fantasy football. Hit that subscribe button. It's that easy to stay ahead of your league mates. I post weekly rankings every single week, buy low, sell highs, as well as waiver wire videos, everything you need. And if you guys have any fantasy questions, trade advice, start sits, should I cut this player or that player, whatever it may be, all you have to do is comment down below, and I respond to every single comment. So you've got a fantasy hotline down there in the comments. But without further ado, let's dive into this. And of course, all that stuff helps support the channel. But okay, let's actually dive into this. Number 1, Puka Nacua. He's been an absolute beast this year. They play Indy. Usage has been number 1 by a mile. 2, Nico Collins. I think he can get home in this one against Tennessee. I'm going on Nico. I'm a little nervous, but he's an absolute stud. I still believe in him. 3, Malik Nabers plays the Chargers. You got to monitor the health on this one a little bit. Make sure he's ready to go. Take a look at those practice reports when we get Thursday, Friday. But I'm playing him. I think Jackson Dart is going to be good for the offense overall. Andrew Thomas being back at left tackle too. In games where Andrew Thomas has played, has greatly boosted Malik Nabers' fantasy production, and he is now back and healthy. 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown against Cleveland. He's been fantastic this year, Amon-Ra, and I know this is a tough matchup, but I still have confidence in him. 5, Justin Jefferson against Pittsburgh. The production and the numbers, when you look into them, very solid last week considering the game conditions. Things look a lot better with Carson Wentz. Obviously, it's a 1-week sample size, but getting 75 yards receiving, having 1 target in the second half, really, really good all things considered, and I think brighter days are ahead for Justin Jefferson, certainly. Jackson, the Jigba against Arizona, he's going to be one of the best wide receivers in fantasy, one of the best draft values moving forward the rest of the season. I expect him to dominate. 7, Jamar Chase. It's a tough matchup, but it's Jamar Chase, and he should still get a lot of targets from Jake Browning. And we've seen Patrick Surtain look a little bit human so far to start the year. 8, Rome Odunze plays Vegas. Rome, I've been really impressed by, too. And I think him and Caleb Williams are just a little bit away from even having some bigger monster games in some of these, some near misses on some throws where he's open and things like that. But I think that stuff will get better as the season goes on. Caleb gets more used to the offense. But I think Roman Dunze is going to be fantastic this year. 9, Devontae Adams against Indy. He's also been getting a lot of targets and is getting a little bit more emphasis around the red zone than Puka does. We've seen that trend for a few years now. 10, A.J. Brown plays Tampa Bay. I think they're going to need to throw in this one. They are missing potentially 3 offensive linemen, Tampa is, which could hurt the game script. But if Baker, I think, is one of the type, and that Tampa Bay offense is one of the ones I think he can keep up and force the Eagles to pass if that offensive line can hold up. 11, Emeka Puka. He's been phenomenal. Philly, tough matchup. Mike Evans going down certainly helps his chances for target volume. Chris Godwin practiced in full today, so he could potentially be returning. I think that'd be good for Puka, though, just take a little bit of the pressure off of him, but he should thrive for fantasy for these next several weeks while Evans is out and season long. He's still going to be a great play once he returns. 12, Drake London against Washington. I know it's been rough, Drake London owners. I know you guys are, I'm not talking you off the ledge here, but he's still a great receiver. We've seen him produce in big games with Michael Penix, in fact. So stay the course, and if things get, continue this bad for another week or two, probably 2 weeks, Kirk Cousins could be there. We saw what he did last year with Kirk Cousins. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel no matter what, in my opinion. 13, Zay Flowers. He plays Kansas City. I think they'll need him in this one. He's a good player. I know last week he wasn't involved as much as we wanted to see as a likely returning. That was a bad joke. But Zay Flowers, I think he's going to have more similar numbers to what we saw earlier in the season. I think he's going to have an emphasis in the passing game. I don't think he's going to be a 170 target receiver, but I think he's going to get more production and more targets than he did last year. 14, Garrett Wilson. He does get a lot of targets. Justin Fields should be back for this one, and Miami is not very good on defense. 15, Jacoby Myers. I've been super impressed by him this year. Plays a bad Chicago secondary too, so that's why I have him up at 15 this week. George Pickens, I think, would be a little bit higher, but Green Bay does have a tough defense overall, but if they do have a weakness at their corners, I think George Pickens will be able to have a good day even against Green Bay. 17, Cortland Sutton plays Cincy. The target volume's in there for him. He got home last week, had a good game. I expect him to be really good moving forward. Teteroa McMillan has been getting a lot of target volume. I expect that to continue, and brighter days ahead for fantasy. He's going to have some really good days with the type of volume he's receiving in the passing game. 19, Brian Thomas Jr. This one's been rough. I kind of want to see it first, but where you drafted him, you definitely have to play him. But I'm just kind of adjusting my expectations until I see him get back to form. That catch at the end certainly helped last week, but you want a little bit more than what he's giving you right now, certainly. Tyreek Hill plays the Jets. I think Tyreek Hill has impressed me, honestly. I wasn't super high on him coming in. Just the vibes in Miami were really bad, but he's had some solid games here, and I think he is definitely a play. 21, Matthew Golden. I'm predicting his breakout game in this one against Dallas. Their defense has struggled mightily, and he ran a route on 86% of the passing plays for Green Bay last week. I expect him to be heavily involved, and he led the team in receiving yards. And this one, he should be able to have a monster day if he leads the Packers in receiving yards again in this matchup against Dallas. 22, Keenan Allen against the Giants. I love the touchdown numbers, love the target, not volume, him being involved. Wish he was out there on first and second down a little bit more. He certainly is the slot guy, comes on those type of circumstances, but Justin Herbert knows and trusts him and is going to use him. And honestly, I think last week they got in trouble because they waited to use him until the fourth quarter, but Keenan came in and bailed them out again. 23, DK Metcalf. They play Minnesota. I know you haven't got what you wanted out of Metcalf, but Aaron Rodgers played Minnesota frequently in this blitz scheme. We'll see how that holds up. Still a tough matchup, but presents some potential bomb and screen opportunities for DK Metcalf, certainly. 24, Marvin Harrison Jr. He plays Seattle. Some brutal drops last week, but you got to think he'll iron some of this out. I know you're lowering the ceiling has been lowered and lowered. We weren't super high on Harrison coming into this season. But I do agree, think brighter days are ahead. So don't get too down Marvin Harrison Jr. owners and sell him for nothing. Devonta Smith plays Tampa. Again, I think this game can be a good game script. Devonta Smith's an absolute stud. 26, Deebo Samuel against Atlanta. Terry McLaurin likely to miss some time. It's looking like I think Deebo will be able to play well, especially if Jaden Daniels is playing. But even if he's not, he's the guy in the passing game. I'm going to roll him out there. 27, Ladd McConkey against the Giants. I think he's going to be just fine, honestly. He plays a lot of snaps. He's got speed. He's still a good player. He's not getting the target volume he got last year, but he's going to get enough to be good. 28, Chris Olave plays Buffalo. Had a ton of targets last week, a career high. They'll definitely have to pass the ball in this one because that game script 15.5-point line, but the Bills are favored. 29, Ladd McConkey. Oh, we've got him in there twice. Where was he supposed to be? That is where he was supposed to be at 27. I just forgot to edit him out. And we'll bring up the next guy, Quentin Johnston, against the Giants as well. He's looked awesome. The passing volume's been high enough in that offense to support three options. I've got no problem playing all three of those guys. And he's got that big play, explosive ability. 30, Ricky Pearsall had a great week last week. Brock Purdy could potentially be back, and so it's looking good. Jawan Jennings I have here at 34 as well. Solid matchup for them, and they've been involved. Kittle's not coming back, obviously. This week, 31, we got Jalen Waddle against the Jets. Again, he's looked pretty good in the passing game these last few weeks. It's not a crazy bad matchup against the Jets, but I'm really looking for those green matchups right now to light up Jalen Waddle, that's for sure, just the way the Dolphins' offense has looked. 32, Trey Tucker. I do think he's going to continue to be involved in the passing game, and like I said, this is Chicago secondary is weak right now, and even if it's in garbage time, I think that Geno Smith can get it done. Jameson Williams against Cleveland. He's got that big play ability. You're going to roll him out there, and he's a stud on a good offense. And 35, T. Higgins. Normally, he's going to be higher on these lists, guys. It's a tough matchup this week against Denver, and Jake Browning looked awful last week. But T. Higgins is going to get enough volume, and he is a talented enough receiver, and we've seen better from Jake Browning. So I think he's going to be higher up in these rankings next week, weeks after, for sure. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please check out my running back rankings. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. This is Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys for watching.